993. What should an ideal cabinet nominee confirmation look like? We spent yesterday and today screening the nominees that President Bola Tinubu sent to the Senate. And that's our legislative hard fact, by the way. The Constitution gives the president and governors 60 days from inauguration to submit their list of cabinet nominees to the Senate and State House of Assemblies, respectively. And while Tinubu has submitted his list and submitted it at the dying minute, it was still an incomplete list. But the Senate has not said anything about that, so I'm guessing the Senate doesn't have a problem with that. They are screening the nominees whose names they have received. Today was the second day of screening, and we've seen quite a lot of interesting things already. I'm expecting our guest to join me on the show to talk about how confirmation works. He'll also talk about the ongoing process, and he is the senior program executive at Order Paper. Temidayo is here. Temidayo Tawo Siddiq, thank you for joining us. Good evening.
Good evening, Sandra. It's a pleasure to be back here.
Yes, now usually Lagos, you hear from Temidayo and I these days on Thursdays from 5 p.m. But our Christmas, which is the screening of our what's the word I'm looking for now, ministerial nominees. That's what our Christmas is, and so we're here to bring you coverage of that. Feel free to share your thoughts on what we've seen happen with the screening of these nominees since yesterday. Temidayo, Senate President Godswill Akpabio told us yesterday that the Senate will continue the bow and go tradition for ex-members of the National Assembly. And sure enough, we've seen them tell several nominees yesterday and today to take a bow. In fact, the very first confirmed nominee was told to take a bow and go. And I have to ask you again, Temidayo, and it's something I asked you on Eyes and Knees last week. With all the problems that Nigeria is facing, I don't know if I even got to this question last week, but let me ask you now. With all the problems Nigeria is facing, with our track record of non performing ministers, should there be any room for bow and go in our ministerial selection process?
Well, Sandra, it's a really worrisome development. Beyond the bow and go, I know we'll come to that, but it's a worrisome development. Like you said, there are indeed a lot of issues that is plaguing the country. Hydra-aided issues actually, and from security to economy to even nationhood. Our nationhood is being debated. This country is still very much divided. Almost every conversation online is polarized into ethnic along ethnic lines, and so it does show that we can't just sit back. We should be in a haste to build a nation, and so it's a surprise that not just that the Senate, the 10th Senate has really not given this process the much level of seriousness that we expect. But it's really, really a thing that most of the nominees, we would think, one would have thought earlier that maybe it would just be with their colleagues or former colleagues. But you see that from this screening, they've even extended it to former governors. Um, the former governor of Jigawa, yesterday, former governor of Rivers,
Mm-hmm.
and then today, former governor of Kaduna. I mean, he literally had to wriggle his way to answer a question. Otherwise, they were comfortable with him just going. You could hear murmurs and all of that from the background.
Hmm.
So it's not something that I think that majority of Nigerians who know what parliament is are happy about. And certainly, you and I, we can add to that number that we are not happy about it. It's really a letdown.
Hmm. By the way, Lagos, there was a helicopter crash on Oba Akron Avenue here in Ikeja. The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency has activated its disaster response plan. This crash happened at 4 o'clock. There were four persons including the pilot involved in the crash. The pilot actually crash landed in front of UBA on that road there. But thankfully, all four people who were on board came out of it alive, and they've been transferred to a hospital for further care. They've also cordoned off that area. It's been blanketed to prevent a secondary incident, and all emergency responders are on scene. That's what we've heard from Dr. Olufemi Damilola Okeosayintolu. So if you are in the Ikeja area and you're experiencing traffic and you're wondering what the hell is going on, well, that's why. So thankfully, no casualties. Thankfully, the Emergency Management Agency is on the scene, and hopefully we end that story without any casualties emanating. Now, Temidayo, on Ayes and Nays, we talked about the issue of confirming a minister without knowing her portfolio, and we saw that play out yesterday. We saw it play out today. Senators were questioning somebody like Joseph Otse, for instance, from Benue State. Because of his academic record in the water resources space, they kept asking him water-related questions. And at a point, the questions became both very technical and very specific, And Senate President Akpabio had to interject and remind the House, see, we don't even know if Tinubu will give him the water resources portfolio, And I was just watching that thing and I was stunned, because according to Akpabio, it may not matter if the nominees cannot answer all their specific water questions. And doesn't that paint the perfect picture of why the current system is not effective and why we need, as a matter of urgency, to switch to a system where the president announces portfolios before nomination? When did we start this? Why are we doing this ministers without portfolio thing?
So I'll take this from two angles, two dimensions. The first one is the fact that I support, to a large extent, you may find that interesting, that they asked him questions related to water resources. If your resume says that this is an area where you've been able to build expertise over a period of years, to the point that you even hold a PhD degree around that area, then we should take it for granted that that's an area where the president should be interested. I mean, the president, I know that there is a politics side of things, people who won elections, who were loyal to the party, who did different things just to get the president into power and retain their party in power, would be the ones to send these nominations in most cases. But I think that there is a thing as send somebody that can help me renew the hope of Nigerians. And so we cannot take for granted that it's also, there's a huge possibility that the president does not even know these people very well. I mean, you remember President Buhari at the time said he had to take as much as 6 months to form his cabinet because he didn't know most of those people. So this is the point I'm making from this. The point I'm making is that if they asked him more questions on water resources, just maybe that may even convince the president, assuming the president and his chief of staff and those who are going to assign portfolios do not know at this time what they want to hand to that person. This is not to say in any way, Sandra, that it's the right thing to send people for interview without knowing the job roles they are being screened for. The second aspect to it is that I'll keep dialing back to what I said on Thursday, and you and I, what we discussed, which is the fact that it's okay not to maybe reveal your hands totally. Bajabi Amila, the chief of staff, has said that it's a dicey thing, that if they have attached temporal portfolios, it becomes an issue of controversy. If in the long run, the Senate screens them with that position, it means that the president is probably bound to appoint them into that particular portfolio. I don't agree with him because there's nothing in the Constitution that, I'm not a lawyer, but I don't think that there's anything in the Constitution that says clearly that once the Senate screen you for a particular position, a portfolio, then that's the case. And if it were that, remember what I said on Thursday, we could have had three um three likely areas
Mm-hmm.
where these people can be appointed. And I use Dr. Betta Edu for example, and you saw it. The Dr. Betta Edu's interview centered around health.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at the list, Sandra, it's not likely that Betta Edu will be Minister of Health
Mm-hmm.
because you have somebody who is leaving Gavi, renowned international organization, all the way. He declined an appointment
Mm-hmm.
to come and accept a ministerial nomination. So are you going to put Betta Edu under that person, or are you going to make somebody leave a World Health reputable organization like that
Mm-hmm.
and come and make the person Minister of State for Finance? I don't think that likely to be the case. And so we have been shortchanged now because Betta Edu was asked questions on health
Mm-hmm.
when it is possible that she's going to be a minister for youth development. I'm just saying, for someone who is 36 years old.
Mm-hmm.
We have also been shortchanged if Betta Edu is going to be Women Affairs Minister. And Women Affairs Minister is different from National Women Leader. It's not about moving up and down as an aide to the First Lady.
That's right.
Women issues, gender issues are very serious issues. There are policy angle to it. There is a national gender policy of 2006 that we have a lot of things to do in this country as it relates to inclusion, and the minister plays a huge role in that. So this also explains why in 2019, Festus Keyamo, SCN, was first of all appointed as Minister of State for Niger Delta Affairs under yours sincerely, um, Senator Godswill Akpabio, who is
Mm-hmm.
now the president of the Senate. And then much later, the president changed his mind and moved him to Labour. And your guess is as good as mine. In that ministry, you can barely say that he had impact. Keyamo is a very controversial person, of course, by his role in the last election, but it doesn't take away his brilliance. And so the nation lost um, what he could have gained from that individual to the politics of things, as I now call it. So we cannot overemphasize, Sandra, the point of portfolio. We will continue to sound it. Maybe to look to the bright side of things, I must say, is that we never imagined that the president would take as much as 124 days to send a list of 43 people as my cabinet members. I haven't served 4 years. We never imagined it was going to take him as much as 55 days because nobody else has taken that amount of days also. And so one lawmaker, God bless him, Honorable Ben Igbakpa, is no longer in the house. Ethiop Federal Constituency of Delta State, in the last assembly, rose up in parliament, sponsored a bill, which is what lawmakers should do to correct that anomaly. And today, President Tinubu was forced to submit his list because of that legislation. So the bright side of things, Sandra, is that let us hope that by the end of this Senate, once constitutional amendments start, we should have the issue of portfolio become a done deal. Supporters of the president keep saying that he's a Democrat or he believes in true federalism. That also came up in parliament today. For somebody who is a lawmaker, who is a former lawmaker, the vice president is a former lawmaker, the first lady is a former lawmaker, the secretary to the government of the federation is a former lawmaker, the chief of staff to the president is a former lawmaker, and of course, the president has two former lawmakers as his aides on National Assembly affairs, and then the deputy chief of staff is also a former lawmaker. The national chairman of the APC, national secretary, these are former lawmakers. Sandra, I want to believe that in 4 years' time, this anomaly would have been corrected.
Hmm.
We need to take an innovative departure from the past.
Oh.
Ministerial nominees are serious business and they are not jamboree for lawmakers to have comedy and entertainment.
Lagos, join the conversation 0700 01465 7190 WhatsApp is 080 What comments do you have about the ministerial nominee confirmation process in the Senate? What questions do you have or comments do you have about that entire process? 99.3, hello.
Hello, Sandra.
Thanks for calling. What's your name, sir?
Emeka is my name again from
Well,
Southside Town.
welcome, Emeka. Talk to me.
You see, I want to thank your guest in the studio there. I think the major problem we have is with, one, our legislators, the crop and quality of legislators we have. Another thing is that we do not put technocracy ahead of favoritism, cronyism, party loyalty, and that is the reason why you do not find portfolios attached to the ministerial nominees. And I wonder what the screening exercise is all about when there is no portfolio attached to it. Because people should be screened on the basis of their experience and where they're coming from. That is the only way we can drive the economy beyond the stage that we are now. And until we elevate technocracy beyond those primordial considerations, we'll continue to remain where we are. The crop of lawmakers we have not been the ones that live up to their mandate and put country first. Because if you put country first, you understand that technocracy is very, very important and a prerequisite for national development. Thank you.
Emeka, thank you very much for calling. 99.3, hello.
Hello.
Thanks for calling. What's your name, sir? Hello? Oh, that's unfortunate. Call back if you can. 99.3?
Ezekwesili.
Yes.
I come again.
Welcome
Like I
back.
said before, my father is God Almighty. See, my name is Rapuchu. You asked your guest one question, and I don't know, I maneuvered it. The screening ministerial nominees without portfolio. Now, it's like they have enough time. Yeah? This senator, they have enough time. They don't know, they don't have much work doing over there. So when they attach their portfolio now, they will start screening again. They will continue screening. I don't understand though. See, let the kite perch, let the eagle perch in this country.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. Now, before we even move ahead, Temidayo, I have to talk to you about the Senate passing a motion stopping NLC from going on strike about subsidy removal. Walk us through this passing a motion business. How exactly does passing a motion stop the NLC? Will it stop the NLC?
I think that not even the president who has executive powers can stop the NLC because there is protest is a constitutional right. As long as you are not vandalizing properties, as long as a peaceful protest. Chapter 4 of the Nigerian Constitution speaks to fundamental human rights, and that's a peaceful assembly. I believe that's what the NLC is planning. But this is not to say that in Nigeria there is more than it meets the eye. Of course, there are different angles to how people perceive protest. But talking about motions are largely advisory in nature. They don't carry any force of law except it's a bill, and I don't see how the Senate will sit. Senate of Africa's largest democracy can sit and stop protest. That will be antithetical to democracy. It will be an anomaly, and it will be barbaric, actually. So I think that the motion should be taken as the lawmakers being very concerned about what it portends for the country, for the economy to be shut down amidst the many issues of hardship that's going on currently. So I think that we should applaud them for the fact that they are concerned, but I want us to see clearly that in terms of the force of law, emotion is largely advisory. No matter the number of lawmakers who speak on it, it remains an advisory. So we can better say the Senate has advised the organized labor, Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress not to go on strike.
Lagos, let me also let you know that screening is still ongoing. The Senate is back from their recess and they're currently still screening the nominees from Mr. President. I've got a message here from Desmond in Shangotido. Desmond says, as long as we have politicians and elections, this issue will continue. These ministerial lists are like a reward of helping the politicians win elections and gathering votes in their various constituencies. Also, I would like any public figure that has served 4 years or maximum of 8 to not serve in any political office again for life. Well, I guess we'll have to figure out our own type of democracy here, because I was going to respond to that and say in other democracies, the longer you are in public service, the better you are at being a public servant. The longer you are in political office, the better you are about being in political office. But that may be true for democracies that are advanced. That may be true for democracies that are a bit more transparent than ours. I don't know if it's the same thing for our own democracy. It feels like it should be an I beg to differ debate topic. It was actually an I beg to differ debate topic. I remember one of the episodes, one of the matches had the children debating whether a long time in public service was good or bad for the country, for the economy, etc., etc. We'll take a very short break. When we come back, we'll keep talking to Temidayo Taiwo-Siddiq. Don't go away.
It all starts with you.
You need information. We need your views.
Most of all, your officer and your official, they are very, very corrupt in that system.
Yeah, the deed has been done as regards to the disaster.
All the time we will come here and complain about insecurity. And this military are doing well today. We are not commending them.
You're part of Nigeria Info.
It's a good time to remind you once again that oneplay.ng is steady putting money in people's pockets. You could be one of people. People could be you. So pick up your phone right now and dial *347 *880 *3#. You will get a prompt that offers you the option to pick as many tickets as you want. Actually, it's from 1 to 10. So pick a number from 1 to 10, then choose your bank, choose 1 to continue, and then you get an SMS that allows you know all you need to do to make payment. Follow these instructions to a T, and just like that, you will be in the draws. These draws will be happening on 3 of these shows. What's Up Lagos from 11:15 to 11:25 a.m. Mondays to Fridays. Game On from 8:15 to 8:25 p.m. Mondays to Fridays, and the chat station with Ada Blessing from 10:15 to 10:25 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. Remember, it's a system that picks these numbers, not the OAP. It's a computer somewhere that crunches it and then picks your number from the bunch. So it's not the OAP. All we do here is announce. Remember that while you play. Also, play responsibly and make sure you are above the age of 18. Terms and conditions do apply. Start playing, start winning. As many times as you play, the more your chances of winning.
Station that puts you first.
Security apparatus that we have, they are not only ghosts. They cannot be everywhere at the same time. Let every Nigeria be the first responder to whatever crime that is being perpetrated towards them.
You see, if government is doing exportation, I know that nobody is going to frustrate them. And they will create job for people, but they're just sitting down there waiting for money to be shared.
Your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. Hard facts. We'll be right back.
When you're in 9Mobile, Nigeria's own network, you get rewarded for asking for more. So whenever you need more data to stream your favorite movies and music, or to play the latest blockbuster games, 9Mobile has got you covered with 8GB for just 1,500 naira, 9.5GB for 2,000 naira, and many more. So join 9Mobile now or dial *301# to choose any of our reliable and affordable plans to express yourself freely on Nigeria's confirmed network. 9Mobile, here for you, here for Naija.
Every morning is an opportunity to take your hustle to the next level. So, start every day with a great tasting cup of Nescafe 3-in-1. Just add water and enjoy the blend of coffee, creamer, and sugar with that rich, creamy taste you love. To help you start strong and make every morning count. Start strong, finish strong.
sorry. I'm so sorry. I hope you have a good motor insurance. Yes, I have a third-party motor insurance that will take care of all your repairs.
In fact, the benefits of third-party motor insurance have increased. First, the limit to claims for damages to third-party vehicles has been increased. Secondly, when you get your third-party motor insurance, you automatically get an ECOWAS Brown card, which means your vehicle now has insurance cover across all West African countries. And if ever it is liable on Nigerian roads for damages to a vehicle from any West African country, the premium to be paid for third-party motor insurance for private car owners, it increased from 5,000 naira to 15,000 naira to enable insurers adequately bear the cost of repairs whenever the need arises. Buy your motor insurance. Please log on to www.niip.ng or visit any licensed insurance company today. This is a public enlightenment message from the Nigeria Insurers Association, NIA.
Oh, lunch. Guys, I'm going for lunch. Please, put more stew. Nice meal. My chest.
Suffering from heartburn and indigestion? Try Just Eat. My recommendation for the past 26 years. Just Eat is a brand of aluminium and magnesium hydroxide and simethicone. Just Eat is available in suspension and tablets. Remedy for heartburn, indigestion, flatulence, and acidity.
Jested, now available in new packs. If symptoms persist after 3 days, please see your doctor. Read leaflet inside.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
A teacher, a pilot, an astronaut.
Kids have big dreams, but a lack of iron in their diet could affect their brain development. That's why one sachet of Cerelac Junior provides 50% of their daily iron needs to help them learn to their full potential and fulfill their dreams.
A musician, an architect.
Cerelac Junior with Iron Plus. It's all good, Mom.
Are you really minding your business or you're just avoiding transportation costs? Thank God I use my Co-Pilot app.
My Co-Pilot app? How do you mean?
I mean, I move smarter, cheaper, and don't need to pretend that I am minding my business.
That sounds good. Tell me more.
My Co-Pilot app helps you cut transport costs and even make money whenever you move. With my Co-Pilot app, you can make over 600k extra. Yes, every month just driving your car to work or traveling. And if you don't have a car but want to enjoy nice and cheaper rides to your destination, just use my Co-Pilot app.
That's great news.
Join verified car owners going your way and pay lesser for transport. Stop spending all your money on transportation.
You just solved my problem. God bless you.
What are you waiting for? Download my Co-Pilot ride-sharing app today. Available on Android and iOS. Or visit www.mycopilot.ng.
My Co-Pilot. Make money, travel safer, and cheaper.
My brother, I no fit find my shares, so it be like say all the money where I put for shares done lost.
That one na small matter now. You never hear of ISF? ISF na the Integrated Shares Finder, where Integrated Trust and Investment carry come. Na him be the ogbonge product wey go help you find your missing shares and dividends. With the shaking money, you go just register for ISF, and ISF will go get your shares and dividends back sharp. To find your shares, just call 0901 502 5992 or 0703 041 6997 or check our website for www.integratedtrustng.com. Abi make you come our head office for Integrated Trust Office 61 Marina Lagos or office for Ibadan and Abuja. ISF. Now the sure way to find your missing shares and dividends.
Hi there, my name is Mercy Johnson Okoji.
My name is Joke Silva.
Hi there, I am Aprocodoc.
My name is Chef Winnie, aka Delicious Food.
It's your boy Cruz with Joe. I love cooking.
And my choice of cooking oil.
And my choice of cooking oil is Power Oil.
My choice is Power Oil.
Use Power Oil. It's triple filtered. It contains omega-6 and 9, and it's fortified with vitamin A. Plus, it comes in different packs and sizes, so you can afford it without breaking the bank.
If you're on 9 Mobile, then you're most definitely enjoying ridiculously affordable data. Like 4.2 gigabytes for only 1,000 naira. 1K, hold on, you also get 6.5 gigabytes for 1,200 naira. And 9.5 gigabytes at guess how much? 2,000 naira. Come on, guys. Join 9 Mobile now or dial *301# to choose from our affordable and reliable data plans to express yourself freely on Niger's confirmed network. 9 Mobile. Here for you. Here for Ninja.
So, we went on the streets to ask people how they love Nescafe Multi.
This multi, that's sweet, oh.
I
taste they mix with the sweet creaminess. And the malt taste, you not get me, mba.
See, abeg, if you want greet me now, have a great multi day.
Well, you've heard it live and direct. Start your day with a Nescafe Multi every day. And have a great multi-day. Start strong, finish strong. Nescafe.
Lagos, up to 90,000 naira can be won every day with One Play Loto. With just 200 naira, you get the chance to play and win every day. Simply dial *347*880*3#. Specify the number of your tickets or entries from 1 to 10. Choose 1 to continue. You will receive an SMS on instructions to make payments. The draws for participants will be live on Nigeria Info, and you get this chance to win up to 90,000 naira. Tune in to WhatsApp Lagos 11:15 a.m. to 11:25 a.m. or Game On at 8:15 to 8:25 p.m. or the chat station by 10:15 p.m. to 10:25 p.m. Remember, you can play as many times as you like. The more you play, the more your chances of winning. Don't forget, simply dial *347*880*3# and play with just 200 naira. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. And remember to please play responsibly. Terms and conditions apply.
Your Nutrilicious Bama is now available in sachet.
Another season of the biggest reality show in Africa is here again. And the question is, how thirsty are you? Thirsty for more confirmed drama and basketballs? More nail-biting suspense? More confirmed bedu? And of course, more of your refreshing Pepsi. So, I ask again, how thirsty are you? Enjoy all the excitement as you tune in this season with your cold and refreshing bottle of Pepsi. Pepsi, confirm. Pepsi, thirsty for more.
Nigeria accounts for over 30% of global malaria deaths, hence the urgent need to explore malaria vaccines as an alternative. NOI polls converge. We'll dissect critical concerns about the malaria vaccine. Theme: Malaria vaccine, accelerating development, strengthening efforts. Date: August 8, 2023, 9 a.m. Venue: The Conference Room, 1107 Kabir Rabiu Road, Mabushi, Abuja. Keynote speaker: Professor George Olusegun Ademowo, College of Medicine, University of Ibadan. Facilitators: Professor Mojishola Adeyeye, DG NAFDA. Dr. Olushola Oresonya, Malaria Consortium. Dr. Jennifer Angante, Society for Family Health. Dr. Shakarao Emmanuel, National Malaria Elimination Program. To register, visit our website on www.noi-polls.com or call 0903-114-9816. NOI polls converge. Cutting edge conversations.
Moves must be made. My people just to work hard. Dreams and challenges motivate us. But sometimes, when the journey gets tiring, all we need is something to push our limits.
Reactor, ignite your energy, bring out your inner champion. Reactor, ignite your energy, bring out your inner champion.
Reactor Energy Drink. What you need to push your limits.
Wahala, no dey, Reactor energy push your limits, no dey tire. No way, Reactor energy drink. Reactor.
Push your limits.
My kids love tasty snacks, but many snacks are not so good for them. That's why I love the new Milo Anna snacks.
We love it, Mom.
Yes, it's a delicious snack with the goodness of malt, milk, cocoa, and crunchy Niger grown maize, containing calcium, iron, and fiber.
So, pack Milo and his snacks in their lunchbox every day to help your kids refuel at break time and keep winning all day. Milo, energy to go further.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Get breaking news, updates, and the best of talk.
Women have to work
twice, even thrice as hard for them to get things that just come so naturally to a lot of men who feel that leadership is their right.
We're in prisons for how many years?
For 6 years, 8 months.
Were you going to court from prisons then?
Yes, but before I started court, it took me 2 years.
Just being in prison?
Yes.
Without your case even start at
In
all?
confinement.
You were there?
Yeah.
Here on your number one station for talk, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Summer is here again, and Upbeat has got you covered. You see, children can be rambunctious, and they have you spending all this energy in your old age. Upbeat wants to take away some of that stress from you with the 8-week program, that's going to be educative, energizing, as well as fun. Some of these activities that will be wearing these kids out include expert coaching in a hands-on curriculum in gymnastics, football, basketball, cooking, the chef academy that is, art and craft, artificial intelligence, robotics. That's amazing if you ask me. Some bit of machine learning. Well, rest assured, your kids will get educated. They would also get entertained as well as tired as hell from all the activities. Also, there's the added bonus of making friends along the way. So if you are, in any way excited by this, then pick up your phone and dial this number for registration: 0818 8844 991. That is 0818 8844 991, or send an email to inquiries at upbeatcenter.com to get started with your registration. There are amazing discounts on offer, so hurry. Now, this will be happening from July the 17th to September the 8th. It will be happening every weekday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. every weekday. Now, Upbeat Center is located at number 11 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1, Lagos. Make this summer a very memorable one for not just yourself, but your children too.
The only station that puts you first.
Security apparatus that we have, they are not only ghosts. They cannot be everywhere at the same time. Let every Nigeria be the first responder to whatever crime that is being perpetrated towards them.
You see, if government is doing exportation, I know that nobody is going to frustrate them. And they will create job for people, but they're just sitting down there waiting for money to be shared.
Your number one station for talk, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Welcome back to Hard Facts with Sandra Ezekwesili.
Lagos, I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. You're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. It is not Eyes and Nays Day. However, we are looking at what has been happening at the Senate for the past 2 days. But before we go on, let me tell you that the Nigerian Labour Congress says they will reconsider their planned protests for tomorrow. We heard from Ima Ubaja, the NLC secretary, and he was speaking at State House in Abuja after a meeting of the Presidential Steering Committee on Palliatives. And he said that while the palliatives were welcoming, they were not far-reaching. And he says that organized labor would need to consult with unionists before midnight today, with a view on agreeing on the next line of action. We also heard from Femi Gbajabiamila, who said that the meeting they had with Labour was very cordial and very nice, and he thinks that President Tinubu's broadcast made organized Labour change their mind about the planned protest. We'll keep our eye on that story. They say we'll know more at 12 midnight today. Okay. We'll keep our eye on that story. And as soon as we know something, you will know something as well. But feel free to talk to me about this announcement from the Labour Congress that they'll reconsider the planned protest for tomorrow. 0700-993-993-993. Temidayo, I have to ask you about the nominees that we've seen so far. We saw Nyesom Wike get confirmed without any pushback. I mean, this is a PDP man. How surprising was it that the PDP senators did not object to Wike, even though he is their party member and he doesn't have permission from the party to join Tinubu's government?
Sandra, I want to remind you of the conversation we had. I even said this last week when I said the 10th National Assembly is one to watch. maybe there might not be opposition in this National Assembly.
Assembly.
Sadly,
Right.
yeah, and sadly so because I think a lot of Nigerians our hopes were high that haven't um, inaugurated a Senate as well as House of Reps that's the most diverse, politically diverse, in recent parliamentary history. This would enrich the level of the quality of debates, and so that the PDP lawmakers did not ask a question. For me, it was surprising, but it was not shocking, because you realize that it's more like the entire screen is more like a paddy affair. And for me, Sandra, I mentioned earlier, it's really about for me, the unseriousness for me. Let me put it like that. And I want to talk a bit about some of the things. You see, it's more like it's a party convention where people come to give platitudes and come to you hardly even differentiate whether this is a screening. We really need to interrogate what a screening is, because I know that Senator Akpabio has said that, oh, this is just screening, and much later when it comes to confirmation, we're going to debate. But really, the Senate is not handling this thing like they have enough time. You are seeing the rush, let him go, let him go. You have all of the time in the world. If it's because of your recess, the House of Reps has started their recess since last Thursday, and they'll be away for 6 weeks. If it's because of your recess, then I don't know why the recess is more important. Then you should have hastened the president for him to have sent this thing earlier. And so you see, yesterday, today has been better, I would say.
Yes, it is. They've
But
spent some time
but
today.
it's still below standard. But yesterday you see Akpabio even singing the praise of certain persons. Today, I know that Wale Edun is indeed brilliant, and of course you can trace many economic progress in Lagos to his handling of the finance ministry. But that is why it's a screening. You want to bring out the best out of him. But what you find here is people come, she's our Mother Teresa. What has that got to do with what Nigerians need to know? Senate President Akpabio even said today that if the lawmakers wanted to know more about Umai, they should Google him. That's really,
Yeah,
really
it
something
was.
that's unacceptable. And then you see, as the session is going on, lawmakers are standing up from their seats,
Moving
approaching him on the
about,
chair, moving about.
talking,
It looks like
gisting.
we are really not serious.
I really
And then
wondered
certain
why we were
speeches, like
wasting our time. Like
I,
why did we waste 2 days on that?
I think I want to advise that if the president will have to rejig this cabinet again, there's no need to send it to for this long distance. I think the lawmakers should just write their signature and say, "Oh, we accept it." Or I know that will not be constitutionally permitted, but really, what I am seeing, somebody stands up and says, on behalf of the senators in my state, we have seen this person is our best, is our role model. I want Lagos to get this right. We are not in any way saying that the lawmaker should be antagonistic. I mean, come there and act like you have never seen this person before, is the next to devil the Satan. That's not what we are saying. We are saying grill them, ask them questions. That the person was nominated to be minister of the government of the federation, as the constitution puts it. It means that this person is going to preside over policies that will shape destinies of children unborn and those who are present now. Any child that's not been born in 4 years is going to be affected by these policies. So when you take it with this lack of seriousness, how do you tell somebody to take a bow and leave because he's the acting national chairman of the APC? He didn't utter a word. He didn't even introduce his name. He was given the option to decide whether he wants to see anything. And actually, that man decided to leave the Senate without saying anything. It's ridiculous. It is not acceptable anywhere. And then you are seeing the fact that um, people, it's our colleague, we know him. You know him, but do Nigerians know him? So what I see is that many times our politicians play on the fact that a lot of people are not politically intelligent. We have the political literacy is quite low, and people are still struggling from the last election with the issues of distrust that some section of the polity had with INEC. And so you are seeing that people are really paying a passive, apart from Twitter, where this is really engaged, it's a passive approach to the whole thing. You cannot be the apex lawmaking institution in Nigeria, and you are telling a former lawmaker who has appeared before the Senate, telling him that we appeal to you that when you get there, we hope you'll be approachable, you won't forget us. You have the power of the Constitution to bring that person to order. They say, where you even mount pressure on the president will be forced to sack that person.
Exactly.
And I want to remind you that when Stella Odua was minister, and then the issue of 255 million naira spent on or 2.5 billion naira spent on bulletproof cars. I don't know if you still remember then. There was so much pressure that eventually I think that Jonathan had to do something about it. I'm not quite sure. But my point is that you have constitutional powers to oversight the executive.
Same with Baton Naji.
What we have seen so far under the 10th Senate, I'm really, really afraid. The Senate don't sit on time. The president of the Senate doesn't get to the Senate on time. They started yesterday at 12:33, despite the fact that it was scheduled for 11 a.m.
Right.
There were no apologies. Nigerians were waiting. Apart from that, you approved 500 billion naira for palliatives that the president only just gave a breakdown yesterday.
Right.
Apart from that, you approved $800 million without getting the thoughts of Nigerians on this issue. You did this speedily. Apart from that, the screening is almost turning into a circus. It's turning into a comedy show. I really am doubtful that under this 10th National Assembly, we might be seeing anything close to proper oversight. It's looking more like a paddy arrangement. Sandra, yesterday, Senate President Akpabio was saying the CV was not distributed beforehand. Okay, don't worry, they will share it to you. No time. We have more persons coming up. Sandra, imagine that if you don't have the resume of the person you want to interview beforehand, what are you going to ask the person? So it just goes to show that this whole thing looks like a joke, and I see zero emotional intelligence on these issues. You are not paying attention to the fact that Nigerians are looking forward to something new. Forget about the fact that Bola Tinubu who is president. Nigerians are looking forward to seeing something new. None of the persons who contest for president have been president before. If it were Peter Obi, if it were Atiku that won, if it were Kwankwaso that won, or even Showore, it means that it was going to be a new person. And Nigerians were definitely expecting something new. That's the emotional intelligence I'm talking about. And it has to also extend to the National Assembly, where we want to see people being grilled. That improved today, but we still saw that a case of petition against former Governor El-Rufai, Akpabio said no, that's something that should not be considered now. So I just feel like it can be better. The questions, no rigor at all. We just have people coming to act like we're in the APC National Convention. And I'm really, really disappointed at the opposition lawmakers. Apart from Senator Ningi, who I saw stood up a couple of times yesterday. And then what we have seen so far from the opposition, it looks like it's a coronation exercise. Just come in, as the person is even speaking, they are saying, maybe you can just decide to answer this and then you take a bow. It's a sad event for Nigeria.
Temidayo Taiwo Siddiq is a senior program executive at Order Paper. Order Paper is Nigeria's foremost independent parliamentary monitoring organization, and they're also a policy think tank, and they bridge the gap between the people and parliament. Temidayo, thank you so much for your time on the show today.
Thank you, Lagos. Thank you, Sandra.
Lagos, after the news at 6, let's relax. Life is hard, Abi. Let's talk about personal stuff on Step Down. On today's Step Down, I will play this audio for you.
I have a question. My girlfriend makes $70,000 at her current job. She went to a job interview today. She calls me and tells me she got the job and she's going to be making $100,000 a year. The only problem is her ex from 5 years ago is the boss of the company. I tell her it's gonna make me uncomfortable knowing that she's gonna be around him all day, every day. I tell her if she takes the job, I'm leaving because I know I'm not gonna be able to handle it. If she loves me and wants to stay with me, she's not gonna take the job and she's gonna go somewhere else. My question is, am I doing too much? Does that make me insecure? If you were her, what would you do?
Okay, we'll have that conversation on the other side of 6 o'clock, after the news at 6 o'clock on the step down. On the step down, we take a break from news and current affairs, and we focus on the lighter side of things, on personal side of things. And you've heard this gentleman here talk about his girlfriend's ex offer her a job that pays a lot of money. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Don't go away, Lagos.
No be today, wey some small stretch